Howdy, my beautiful Scorpio. How are you doing today, darling? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to get into a tarot reading for you, Scorpio, for November 2022. So if you enjoy this tarot reading today, let me know how in the comments below how it resonates with you. That's how I keep up with you, of course, Scorpio. As well, darling, be sure to check out more than just your one zodiac sign, Scorpio. Check out your sun, moon, and your rising. People often make that mistake of only checking their one zodiac sign for their readings, and it's just like that doesn't cover the whole picture. So be sure to do that, Scorpio. All right, and if you want to support me completely for free, Scorpio, just give this video a like and subscribe. It helps me out quite a bit, and I always appreciate those who take the extra step to support me in that way, because it does help me out. So taking in your reading right now, Scorpio, all right, I want to firstly just celebrate you guys here, because I feel like there's like some sense of accomplishment, like you guys have overcome something. Maybe it's just like I see, like, because I'm being shown like the Olympic, like you standing at like the gold medal, getting the gold medal, Scorpio. This gives me like this impression. Maybe it's just like you proved yourself right, you emerged victorious recently in your life, Scorpio, or maybe like you just recently signed up for a competition or something like that I see you emerging victorious. But also, Scorpio, I get like this side message here of where it's like there's like this message from your spiritual team wanting to congratulate you, because I do feel like we'll get more into detail about this in your third row later on, Scorpio, but I do feel as if someone like was sending some bad energy your way, evil eye, some type of thing, and you overcame it. All right, I feel like you guys are going to be, if you haven't already started feeling it, Scorpio, are going to start feeling like a major breakthrough energetically for you. You might be finding yourself, let's get into this first row here, talking about the Six of Wands and the Six of Cups and the Eight of Swords coming in here. All right, and so this is where I see you guys emerging victorious from, Scorpio. All right, there was something from your past that was really keeping you down, and in this type of way here, I really do feel like, Scorpio, maybe this was someone that you just had some long connecting ties to, someone that is just wasn't no longer good for you anymore, and you couldn't find a way to get out of the situation, or maybe there's like some prior commitment that you had towards your past there that had you feeling stuck here, Scorpio. Whatever the case is, there's some situation from your past that you couldn't fully move on from. It was this sense of where I'm just now even realizing with the Six of Wands here, this is like the card of the Olympics, and I had no correlation to this. I was like zoned out, Scorpio, when I was seeing like the Olympic gold medal and all that's there, but the Six of Wands is the card of emerging victorious, Scorpio. So definitely, I do feel like it's important for you, Scorpio, if you haven't already, there's something in your space that you keep around that was gifted to you, I feel like it's important for you to cleanse that if you're no longer on good terms with them or something like that in that manner, because I do feel like there's like this lingering sense of where it's like, while I see you guys overcoming this, I see for some of you as well, Scorpio, where it's like you might have been feeling like you're in a rut, because it's like, I'm doing all this healing, Four Swords energy here, I'm doing all this healing, but it's like you haven't been able to fully make the breakthrough or fully finish the healing process so you can begin the next phase of your life in some way here, right? And so that's where I feel like some of your frustration is, Scorpio, is that you just need to do those final touches of just like either cleansing your own energy or putting some boundaries up with your past, or just whatever you need to do to get closure with your past here. Clarifying your Six of Wands, we have the Knight of Wands coming in for you. So Scorpio, I'm going to see this in two ways. Internally, this is you starting to open up again. I feel like life is going to start being more responsive to you, Scorpio, once you start exuding more of this Knight of Wands energy. Now, normally a tarot reader is not going to tell you to always exude Knight of Wands energy, because in an imbalanced place, the Knight of Wands is like being too irrational, right? But you're having your emotions, your passions drive you. And Scorpio, I really do feel like for you, there's this sense of like needing to fully like wake up and wanting to express yourself fully, dance if you feel like dancing, expressing yourself if you feel like expressing yourself. There's this sense of like keeping yourself to like contained. I don't know if you're concerned about how public people would perceive you or whatever the case is, you're Scorpio, but I do see Ten of Cups clarifying this Eight of Swords here. I do seeing like the self, you look at the artwork of the Eight of Swords, and this is a card of like dysmorphia. What this person sees in the mirror is not reality to what is actually going on, but these crows represent swords, or these thoughts, these ideas. It's self-limiting beliefs, Scorpio. All right, so this leans into this message here for you, Scorpio, at least how I see this as is where it's just like if you are able to overcome your own personal demons that were developed from your past, maybe certain people or certain events in your past, Scorpio, Six of Cups put you in a place where you weren't able to see yourself clearly anymore. Naturally, you're not going to feel like you're a winner if everyone around you constantly tells you that you're a loser, you know, in the most simple of terms there. But I do see you guys getting to a breakthrough though. I do feel like this optimism there, Scorpio, especially because the 10 showing up representing closures to cycles. Like, I do see you guys finally overcoming what was having you not seeing yourself clearly with, right? I feel like you guys are finally figuring out, Scorpio, like the process that you need to take to fully heal and then step into it. Now, clarifying this Six of Cups here is the Two of Cups. No surprise here, Scorpio. I'm assuming that this person is not relevant in your life anymore. If they are, Scorpio, this is a direct call out that I do feel as if it's necessary for you to separate yourself from somebody that you might have a long-standing history with, but they are at this point in time blocking you from your success, whether that's just through interacting with them. They may be even what I was getting beforehand, of where I was just getting like this impression where it's like someone was sending you some bad ojo, and it's just, I don't know, Scorpio. So I'll leave that with you. For you, obviously, you're very intuitive, Scorpio. You know what you need to do, and you already have a good read on people, darling. So I'm not going to harp on it too much. Just be aware about it, Scorpio, because I feel like I'm just more so confirming something. All right. There's this need for you to disconnect what happened in the past with a person so you can step into your next chapter. What you have to be looking forward to though, Scorpio, is some really good stuff here. Ace of Swords with the Four of Swords and the Seven of Cups here. You'll know the healing process is just about done for you, Scorpio, when you are starting to get some new ideas, when you're starting to feel motivated, Scorpio, about life again, and you're entertaining different things that you could be doing with that Seven of Cups there, right? Remember what I was just saying beforehand, Scorpio, where it's like, I feel like it's important for you to be like a Knight of Wands a little bit more, where you are having passion drive you, Scorpio, where you are just, like just very much so in the moment. That's what I would say the Knight of Wands is the best summary. Is like very in the moment. They do things that feel proper to them. And so for you, Scorpio, November seems to be a really positive month for those that choose to be open, to choose to not get too lost in the cynicism. All right, Scorpio. And I know during like these gloomy months, it's a little bit hard sometimes to like get ourselves out of like a depressive rut, especially if we've been in that rut for a while, or the low vibrational, like the mindsets where it's just like, oh, why bother? It's never worked out in the past, wanting to stay comfortable, Scorpio. But that is like your lesson here for November. It seems like, you have the Strength card clarifying this Ace of Swords. Your lesson right now, Scorpio, is like, yeah, you might be dealing with a bad hand, or you might be dealing with a lot of stressful things in your life there, right? Or insecurities, but you're not going to, like, your lesson is like, yeah, you have those insecurities, but you're not going to stop that from going forward with new creative ideas, going forward with anything that you feel like doing, Scorpio. The first example that I get with this, it's like, you, instead of always just denying when someone asks if you want some food, you're just like, you know what, I do want that. Or if someone offers help, you usually the first one, Scorpio, to be like, oh no, I got it myself. Like, it's those small, seemingly really small things, Scorpio, but it actually builds up to be something much greater, where it's just you don't speak out with what it is that you actually want because of whatever your reasonings are. Maybe from the past, people made you feel guilty about saying yes and accepting help, or held it against you. The Magician card clarifying the Four of Swords coming in here. I want to tell you, Scorpios, to give yourself some grace at this time. All right, you might not be creating as much as you would like to at this current point in time here, but as you continue healing, you're going to be finding your magician energy again. You're going to be finding your spark again, your talent again, Scorpio. And so that is partially something I want to be telling you as well, but you're only able to do that as the magician if you go do the necessary work. So, the magician has no sense of shame. The magician doesn't care about how other people would see them as. The magician just follows and creates their dream world, right? Something else to be noting there. All right, we really gotta, for you, Scorpio, I feel like it's really important to shift the mindset. All right, the Wheel of Fortune is clarifying your Seven of Cups. All right, and so again, another confirming message here for you, Scorpio, saying just like, if you're wanting a change in your life, for the positive, right? This is a time to ask yourself this question, Scorpio. Have you liked the type of energy that you've been welcoming in your life, in your social life? Or in your finances, right? There's a sense here, Scorpio, where it's like if you're unhappy with some facet of your life, work life or social life, what have you here, it's time to consider other options. And that's how you get the Wheel of Fortune to start turning in your favor again, Scorpio. Does that make sense? It's the sense of where you have to acknowledge, Scorpio, that there's change that's needing to happen, and you need to have confidence in these changes that you put forward for yourself. But it's going to be hard to do those initial changes when right now I see you in this place of just wanting to catch your breath, wanting to just like balance things out, like have everything balanced out, I guess. And spirit is kind of just telling you, Scorpio, being like, that sounds nice and all, but like we gotta get out of our comfort zone, Scorpio. So what you need to hear today is the Knight of Cups, the Five of Wands, and the Emperor card in the reverse here, Scorpio. All right, so what you need to hear today is that there's going to be someone, and you might have already dealt with them in your life already, Scorpio, but this is confirming what I was already just feeling overall with your energy, of what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with. But there's definitely someone that this is like the type of person that is their ego is very fragile, Scorpio. Their ego is very fragile. And even though you're not purposely trying to attack anyone's ego or anything like that, like I see you just minding your business, Scorpio, but insecure people see you minding your business, but they are triggered by that. So it's like someone who's very insecure in themselves, you just walk into a room trying to get your groceries or what have you, and then this woman comes up to you and just like, why are you flirting with my partner, right? And you're just like, girl, I'm just holding some melons, right? And it's that type of way, Scorpio, where it's like you have to acknowledge where it's just like, on one hand, you acknowledge that you trigger people just from you just being your authentic self, especially if you own that Knight of Wands energy. People are just not going to, they're going to feel threatened, and they don't even know how to describe it. But the reality is it's because of their own personal insecurity of you coming in your power, they just feel threatened by that. And so you acknowledge it. Doesn't mean you change, Scorpio, but you acknowledge why that is. And then you protect yourself properly. You don't internalize it when people project their insecurities at you, but also you understand that as you continue growing, there's going to be certain people that you can't share your success stories with because they're just going to be jealous. And I do get this sense of just like evil eye and what have you, Scorpio. So just be very careful about who you are actually very open with and celebratory with your successes that I do see coming for you eventually, right? With that Six of Wands, it's definitely manifesting for you. I want to be more optimistic about this, Scorpio, but I also don't want my optimism to be to lose the main message here, Scorpio, of me telling you that I think it's important for you to be out there more, right? Instead of worrying about stressing about how people are perceiving you. The biggest thing I struggled with for a while, Scorpio, a couple years ago, was people would always say, she's like, oh, Velca, you're intimidating. And I would take that as an insult and be like, oh, what am I doing wrong? When in reality, it's not that I was intimidating. It's that these low-minded people were just threatened by me, and they wanted me to dim my light so they were comfortable again in their insecurities, when that's not the case at all, right? So Scorpio, I understand on some level you already kind of own your shit, but I do feel like on some level there's certain people that have access to you because you have that history with them. Maybe you grew up with them or shared a life with them at some point, Scorpio. But I think it's really important for you to acknowledge that there's even people in your personal life that just truly don't understand you, or able to just fully appreciate you. And it has nothing to do with you. It's like their own miserable, like if there's something going on in their own personal lives. But last quarter moon in Aquarius, reflecting on your priorities. I don't know. I get like this impression here, Scorpio, where it's like the priorities have shifted for you, because it's like, I think you need to make yourself the main priority, Scorpio, and then just trusting the process in the sense of where it's like reminding yourself when good people do good in the world, when a good person does good, has good things happen to them, all that's going to happen is that good person is going to spread more good in the world. And so I feel like you need to function more so from a place of understanding, Scorpio, that you're a good person, and it's time for you to just put yourself as first priority, because you understand if you put yourself as first priority, all that's going to really happen is like people that you love, people who support you, are also going to do really good as well, because you're going to share that love. But I do feel like it's important for you to like snatch back your crown, snatch back your power away from somebody that, I don't know, I just keep on getting like this sense of like a weird influence or like a weird support system. So I'll leave that to you though, food for thought, and I'll connect you sometime in the near future, Scorpio. Thank you so much for this privilege. Bye, darling.